call the merge lane. Welcome on into Trucking with the Lorax. We're just about to hit some pretty heavy traffic up here in the cities, and well, it's gonna be a good time. Maybe. Probably not. Yeah, it's already not a good time. Oh boy. Yep, you stay there. Stay there. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh God. Alright, slow down. Oh boy. Alright, there we go. Woo. Well, that worked out really well. Holy crap. That is a really bad section for merging. Yeah, join me on my adventure. The past 2 days in a row, I've been in almost about, I don't know, 4 wrecks, 4 accidents, or 4 crashes, I should say, from just the amount of stupidity out here on the road up in the Twin Cities of Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's been very interesting lately. Whoa, hey! Holy shit! I just about got hit. Oh, get ready, watch this one. Yep, you like that? Look at that shit, can't even maintain a lane. Good God. That car had to be doing at least 80 coming up on my ass end when I got over, and then they just flew around and did that. Beautiful. Hey, I don't fully understand what people have in their head when they're driving in this traffic. Like, if they want assisted suicide, there are states that do that now, you know? You don't need to do it on the front of my semi. Good God. Yeah, it should be a good time. We're running pretty close to 80,000 right now. We're sitting at about, 79,900 pounds, give or take a couple hundred. So we're pushing some weight. And coming up here while you're pushing that kind of weight, yeah, I'm probably gonna be one of the last trucks you want to get in front of and do that. Come on over, buddy, you got it. Oh, you know, I might have to start taking my blood pressure medication again. The amount of crap that's been going on up here lately with traffic, yeah, I'm pretty sure my blood pressure's been skyrocketing. I'm pretty used to most of it by this point, but, you know, every now and then somebody surprises me. Like, if you've looked at my channel and saw the box truck that I had yesterday, that was close. I mean, one little tilt of my steering wheel and I could have smacked that dude's mirrors off yesterday. But today we are just heading up with our second load. I might be coming back up with the third load, which if I do, I'll probably do another live stream because traffic will be even worse at that point. Traffic's heavy, but everyone's flowing right now. So that's the good news. Well, welcome on in if you're new. I'll introduce myself. I'm the Lorax. Been a semi driver for about 8 years. I've got roughly 700,000 miles under my belt, give or take. And I come up to the Twin Cities here in Minneapolis, Minnesota twice a day. Sometimes 3 times a day, sometimes once. Kind of depends on what I got moving. I haul recycling, and I pull a 53-foot 3-axle trailer. And today is going to be a pretty interesting, well, shouldn't be too interesting, but we're definitely going to see a lot of crap. You wouldn't believe some of the crap that people pull off up here in their cars. Everybody thinks they're in a race car. Get ready to brake. I probably should have went in front of this pickup in hindsight, but that's alright. We're coming up into a 55 mile an hour construction zone right now. Ideally, I shouldn't be in this lane, but the reason why I'm in this lane is because up here there are a couple of merge points that can be a real nightmare to deal with. So, instead of me creating more traffic, I just keep rolling and flow with traffic. But traffic doesn't seem to be flowing very much today. You'll see the merge points I'm talking about. I mean, it's better now that they moved the 494 exits where it's at here. It's been better, but the 2 merge points up ahead that people are going to start coming on, that's where traffic can get real bunched up, and yeah. Alright, we're past the first merge point. Once we get past the second one up here, then I'll get back over, and we're going to sit in the slow lane. But I'm flowing with traffic, so it's not like I'm, sitting out here holding everybody back. I'm moving right along with them. And now I'm probably going to get stuck out here. Yep. I got cars coming up on the inside of me. Here's this other merge point. Traffic up here can get rather interesting. You'll see people in a big hurry, and I mean, you'll see some really close calls. Like, it's every day I either see an accident, sometimes I get to witness it, or I see a really close call. But we're going to speed up, try and keep up with traffic here. I'm kind of stuck out in this lane, so I'm going to have to try and flow a little bit better with traffic. We got a 55 mile an hour curve coming up, which I honestly have to take at 55 miles an hour. Otherwise my load will shift in my trailer. And it's not very comfortable when that happens. If you ever want to learn how to take a bite out of your seat with your ass, take a curve too fast with a load that moves. Yeah, I see you there, Tesla. Alright. I'm moving over. Thank you. Alright, I can feel the load shifting slightly. We're doing about 59, and I can feel it a little bit. You can kind of tell where your load's at. So like I haul recycling, So when I hit curbs, if the recycling is fairly dry, it will actually shift on the top of the trailer and you'll feel it. And it's almost like going around a curb with liquid. It's not quite to that extent, but it's pretty close. So I felt it hit to the driver's side a little bit around the curve, but nothing that would make me think the truck's gonna get tipped over. If I hit a curve at about 65, I might have a potential to tip this thing over, to be honest with you. Alright, so this is going to be another bad merge point right here. You're going to see cars coming up from the right. They're going to be trying to get over into these left lanes. And mind you, I'm an obstacle course, essentially. And some people really enjoy getting around obstacles. Alright. Looks like I'm able to get over. Sweet. Usually I get locked out in that lane for a little bit. Let's see what it looks like up here. I wouldn't be surprised if we hit a slowdown pretty soon. We're kind of up here at a bad time right now. So I got a feeling we're probably going to hit a slowdown before long up here. I'll introduce myself while we're coming into traffic. I go by the Lorax. I am a recycling hauler out of southeastern Minnesota. I go up to the Twin Cities every day. What I generally do for my live streams is I let people hang out with me. I get all the way to my facility, get on the scale. Depending on what it looks like there, I will actually take you inside while I'm unloading. You can check out what it looks like. It's a very different perspective. I don't haul like a regular dry box trailer or anything like that. If you've never heard of a walking floor trailer, oh shit. If you've never heard of a walking floor trailer, you might be rather interested in seeing what it actually is, what it does. Something different. Sorry, I'm just trying to get back up to speed. By the time I get back up to speed, we're going to be in a slowdown anyways. So that's kind of one of the downfalls of driving something like this and this heavy. I can't really go anywhere anytime soon. Like, I'm definitely not driving a race car, you know? Welcome on in. I have a screen reader so I can hear your guys' replies, but I have no idea who's sending them. Don't even think about it. No, you go behind me. You go behind me. Thank you. Good God, I really thought they were going to come up and cut me off. You know, it's a good thing I'm bald, because I'm pretty sure the hair on my head would be gray by this point, or white from stress. You know, a lot of people up here, I feel, see a semi and go, oh yeah, they got a gap in front of them, I can just, you know, cut in front of them. They don't realize this gap is so if I have to brake, I'm not sitting in the back of their car with them, you know? But a lot of people don't think about that. They're just like, screw it, I gotta get over here. I'm just like, alright. I mean, you're gonna get real comfy with your steering wheel in about 2 seconds, you know? But that's why I always anticipate that I'm just going to get cut off. It's, you know, about half my job is anticipating somebody cutting me off, or yeah, that's really what my job is for, you know, a good 50% of it. Here we go. Now we're slowing down. Yeah. So the floor of my trailer essentially what it does is sections of it will shift forward, and then once all the sections of the floor hit the end, they all back up at once, and it just literally walks the trash, the recycling, right off my trailer. I actually have a couple of videos up of unloading in the landfill and of unloading where we're heading right now. And it shows the floor walking, the trash coming off. Oh, all right, come on back. Thank you. It's ran by hydraulics, and essentially hydraulics and cylinders. It's a really interesting, complex system that I wish I could go further into, but I don't know enough. Slow down here. My truck's a little loud, and I don't have a microphone set up on my sweatshirt yet. I'm kind of working on that one, so it's going to be a little loud. Just bear with me momentarily. There we go. All right. So this is the downtown exit here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. If you are ever coming through here and you need to stay on 94, the lane I'm sitting in is the lane you're gonna want, because all these people that are coming up, they're gonna want this lane to get to 94, and the problem is I'm gonna be in the way. So yeah, we're gonna get cut off a couple times here. So all the recycling in the back of my trailer is loose. It is essentially compacted into the back of my trailer by a massive compactor, and it's just bulk, loose recycling. So the problem with my loads are all the stuff that's sitting on the top layer of the recycling will actually shift when I brake hard or when I'm taking curves, and I can actually feel it shift as kind of a one unit type deal. If it's wet or frozen, it won't move, but like right now it's cold out, but everything's pretty dry. So on one of the curves back there, I actually felt a little bit of a shift. But say I hit my brakes really hard, I would probably have about 3,000 pounds come forward in my trailer. There's enough loose material on top that it'll move. And I mean, I'm right at the line at 80,000 pounds. It's not enough to completely fill the trailer. Yeah, to an extent, it's like hauling liquid. It's not as severe. I used to haul liquid at one point. It's not as severe as that, but it's not very far off. Looks like. So we got a bunch of cars coming on here. We're gonna have to get to that right lane. Alright, I'll just slow down, let you over, because I have a feeling you're coming this way. I'll get on the scale, get scaled in, and we'll kind of see what everything's looking like from that point. But I'll be doing another live stream when I leave the facility as well. I might just let this one run, and whoever's here is here, whoever's not is not. Completely up to you guys. It definitely would. I usually get I'll get some like really heavy appliance cardboard that's been folded up a couple times, and I mean it's pretty dense and compact. but it's not all that often. Hey. Yeah, I saw that coming. That dude was looking to get over here. Jesus. I'm gonna slow down. I don't think that Mini Cooper really knows what it would look like in a metal ball form under my truck, but you know, people don't think about that when they cut in front of me. They don't think about the reality of what could be. And the scary thing is, I know what that reality actually is because I was an EMT for a year and I went to a few of those wrecks. Not a pretty scene. I wish more people had that exposure when they come out here in their cars, so they don't think that, oh yeah, a semi, and look, he's got a big gap in front of him, I can just cut in front of him. Like, no, you really shouldn't do that. I don't think you want to know what it looks like, but they do it anyways. Gotta make that exit, save that 2 minutes of your life, even though you're not very far away from death when you do that crap. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a dump truck driver. Alright, we are finally hitting our exit. Welcome in, Shooting Star. Good to see ya. Yep, finally hitting our exit. And we'll get pulled up on the scale and see what it looks like. See what it looks like. I'm just hoping I'm not stuck up here for a while. I'm gonna try to come back up here with another load, but we're gonna see what things are timing out like. Yeah, it'd be really nice to have that, honestly. But you know, I mean, a lot of people, you can have signs, you can have everything you want, they're still gonna do what they do. When I pulled oversized loads, you would think all the oversized signs and the lights and, you know, train horns would get people to kind of stay away from you. Nah, for some reason you turn into like a attraction at that point, and then you really get into some dangerous territories. If you're going to get your CDL, I strongly recommend doing research on the school that you want to go through. And I would recommend going through a full school, not a turn and burn. I am a CDL instructor on the weekends, and I teach a 40-hour course. Now, mind you, there's no actual hour recommendation. It's what it's advertised as. I can't say I agree with it to an extent. I do what I can with helping students and getting them to where they need to be for their CDLs. I really wish I could do more. And I would recommend, if you're gonna go into truck driving where you have something with, say, your back, your shoulders, something that's limiting, a good option would be running like a dry box or a refrigerated trailer. Mind you, that can be kind of a pain in the ass because usually you have a lot longer wait times. You get jerked around quite a bit by shipper and receivers. But if you get set up with the right outfit, you know, I don't recommend like a large corporation or a large business just because you're more of a cog in the machine in my eyes. And this is all opinion based. I'm going to throw that out there. This is all opinion based. I would go for more of a medium size company, something that maybe has 20 to 40 trucks, and that you can get you can get close to them a little bit. You know, you're a little more family oriented. My company has 35 drivers, and they're very family oriented. I really like where I'm at. So I that's kind of what I would look at direction wise. I mean, if someday, you know, I finally tear my shoulder up enough to where I can't do what I do, then yeah, I would probably get into something like that. I've done dry box, I've hauled refrigerated trailers before. So it just really depends. Dedicated can be kind of boring, but in all honesty, if you get a good routine and a good system down, your wait time goes down quite a bit. It's just kind of hard to find companies that are decent. Actually, you'd be surprised quite a bit. There's quite a few different team driving options out there, and I mean, really, it's not a bad deal. The hardest part about team driving is just trying to sleep when the truck's rolling. So, like when I first started, I team drove with my old man, and I mean, it's really not a bad option to do. It's just really hard to get used to sleeping while the truck's going down the road. That's honestly the biggest thing. You know, the truck's running 24/7, and you know, you got to really play around. You got to play around with it is kind of the big thing. But team drivers, from my experience and what I've heard, do really well. It's great money because, you know, the truck's always moving. Outside of that, I mean, I can't say I know a whole lot else. And when I was doing it, I was learning and training, so it's kind of a different story. It wasn't, you know, I was driving, he was driving. It was more, if I was driving, he had to be up, generally in the passenger seat. That's a whole nother realm of things, but there's quite a few out there that do that. It kind of depends on where you're based out of. I would just do your research and just kind of watch some of the catches for like sitting time. You know, if they say, oh, we pay 67 cents a mile, great. What about the 6 hours I'm down waiting to get loaded? What do you do for that? How do you compensate me? You know, what's my per diem? You know, what are some of the benefits to it? So just really look at your options and don't jump at the first place that looks decent, would be my big thing. Just don't jump to the first company that, you know, sounds like it's giving you a great job. Not necessarily, in all honesty. I haven't heard a whole lot about that. It seems like every time they, you know, have this big influx, like, oh yeah, we got all these, you know, self-driving trucks, and then something goes sideways and it's like, crap. I haven't honestly otherwise heard too much about the self-driving trucks. Myself, I can't say I necessarily pay too much attention to all that. There wouldn't really be much of an option for what I do for a self-driving truck, just for the fact that getting unloaded up here and the terrain that I drive on and the 2 yards I go to and sometimes the landfill, I would be interested to see a self-driving truck try to do what I do in the landfill. And 1 second. Yeah, we're a smidge. We're a smidge heavy. I'm gonna check into the scale real quick, and then we'll get pulled forward. I'll kind of show you guys what we got going on. I'll show you what I'm driving, and we'll go back and flip my axles up, and I will be back in a hot second. All right, I'm back. Just checked in with the scale house. We've been pushing some limits here with running. I'm kind of behind right now. My buildings are full, but So I have a couple videos up, or I have a video up, I should say, about getting into driving and some recommendations. So as a CDL instructor, I generally recommend going through a decent school with a good reputation. So a school that'll give you your manual endorsement, you know, if you want to get your doubles and triples, or you want to get your hazmat, or, you know, kind of that line, that is a really good recommendation. If you have driving experience, or a company that's willing to hire you on and train you, teach you, then a turn and burn school isn't bad. But you got to have a good teacher that knows his stuff, because a lot of rules have changed for schools in 2022 and 2024. It's like, what I learned for a pre-trip isn't how you do a pre-trip anymore. They shaved off about 20 minutes of a pre-trip nowadays. In East Tennessee, I can't say I have, sorry to say. The only schools that I know of are the one I teach at, and the one down in Iowa, that when I teach somebody on the side, through, like, a company can hire me to come in and teach somebody to drive a manual and teach them, you know, what they need to know to get through their CDL. And then we send them to a turn and burn school, because they essentially will have about a month of experience with me at that point, and then they can go out and get their CDL. But that's more of a side thing that I do, and it's, since the weather's been what it's been up here, I haven't been doing any teaching, just because it's really difficult to teach people on snow and ice. Don't get me wrong, it's a great experience, but in the same breath, I've also had some pretty bad experiences with that with students. I would just make sure you do your research. For recommendations on, like, finding out, you know, because of course they're gonna show themselves off, show all their shiny things, and, you know, jingle their keys and say, hey, come learn here, we'll teach you a lot. Like, that's great and all, but at the end of the day, is it actually true? Talk to prior students. If you can find out how to talk to students, or even people that are in the program, you know, that's going to be your best bet, because they're going to be down to earth about it, like, hey, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. Same thing with trucking companies. You know, if you're really curious about a company and it sounds like it's too good to be true, talk to their drivers. That's honestly what I've done for the past 2 companies that I've worked at. I talked to their drivers, and that's kind of what sold me on it. And I told them, hey, tell me the things I don't want to hear. You know, tell me something that you wouldn't just generally tell a new hire, because if I'm okay with going into a job knowing some of the circumstances I could get in, then so be it. Like when I was doing oversized loads to Canada, they told me flat out, you could get stuck up there up to 3 weeks, you know, depending on the oversized load you're pulling. And sure enough, that happened, and I was like, yeah, it sucked, but I kind of asked them about it, so I knew what I was getting into. Same thing where I'm at now. I run, 65, 70 hours a week, fairly easy, and I run really early in the morning, which is kind of what I was looking for. But they told me some of the bad things right out of the gate, and I said, all right, I'm in. I said, I believe the pay is reasonable enough to the crap I'm gonna have to deal with, and I know how to handle a lot of it. So here we are. I'll give you a quick little look around here. Let's jump out and we'll lift my tag axle and unlock my trailer, and I'll show you guys what I'm driving. So here's my trailer. So we're gonna come up to my tag axle, and we're gonna flip this up, And that'll lift that. And so, sorry, got another truck behind me. But so this is my trailer. This is what I drag up to the cities twice a day at 80,000 pounds. And here's what I got for my rig. Don't mind the soot on the stacks, but yeah. So that's my outfit. What I'm kind of driving, just an old Series 60 Detroit, some straight 5-inch stacks. Not super crazy on the power or anything like that. Let's see here. Do you think driving local first would be a good start? I guess it depends on how comfortable you think you'd feel in a semi. So if, you know, I drive local now. I've been over the road. I've gone to all 48 states, and I've been to 4 different provinces in Canada. The big thing with being over the road that I know a lot of new drivers deal with is more or less time management, traffic, and hills. So we've got to, you know, here in the States, if you're over by East Tennessee, so you probably know of like the Smoky Mountains out there, going down into the Carolinas, or I'm gonna think now here. Like if you're going down into Georgia, I think that's Mount Eagle Pass. It's been a while since I've been over the road, but so you have hills and stuff that you want to be weary of. If you go local first, the things that can do for you is it can help just get your feet wet, so to speak. And, you know, even if you don't start out team driving and you just want to get some experience on your own, it's not a bad idea to potentially go that route. Oh, shit. Well, I guess you guys are joining me. Sorry, we're backing in. So it really, in my personal opinion, I think it really comes down to a personal preference and how you want to get your experience. You know, if you're somebody that doesn't mind being thrown to the wolves, then over the road could be a good outfit. But I can promise it's a challenge when you go over the road. It's hard to start out going over the road. You know, I did over the road and local when I was training. And then when I finally went over the road by myself for the first time, my first load ever was down to Fort Worth, Texas. And I gotta tell you, I did not route plan good. And I wound up in downtown Fort Worth, Texas with a tractor trailer. And you know, there's something about looking around and seeing a sea of cars and going, you know, I don't think I'm supposed to be here. That really makes you start to wonder if you did your route planning right. And I can tell you, I didn't. But we're gonna get back in here real quick. And then I'm gonna jump out. Oh, there's that. Bring it back, God damn it. Fuck you staring at? God, fucking can't stand that guy. Sorry. Alright. My apologies. If you bear with me for a moment, I'm gonna get everything hooked up, start unloading, and then I'll take you guys back there and I'll actually show you what it looks like. Okay, there we go. All right. Now, gotta get my PTO engaged. All right. So, come on with me for a second, and I'll show you what it looks like. Oh, and by the way, there's a driver here that I got into it with a while ago. So if I say something, just a heads up, I've got some bad blood with him. But I'll take you back. It's a little challenging to be nice some days. I reserve pretty much all of that for my driving. But here you guys go. So, as this unloads out of my trailer, the operator will come over and he's gonna push it. So, actually, he should be coming up pretty soon here. Oh, yep, there he is. So he's going to come back. And essentially, we're going to step back here, but he's going to take it and scoop it. And that's why we step back. That's why we step back. So, why this is called a walking floor trailer, I'll see if I can show you, but you can see different sections of the floor are going to shift. So, different sections of the floor shift back and forth, and it essentially it literally just walks the recycling out of the trailer. It's how I can explain it the best. With the building being this full, it's probably going to have me maneuver here and there and move forward. But this is what I do Monday through Friday. I come up here, I unload. I actually just did a video yesterday of how full the building up here is right now. And with the building being full like this, usually we start getting slowed down. So they only let like one truck unload at a time. And I'll go through the story about this trucker because it's driving me nuts. So, it was probably a month ago. We both got up to the facility. So, if you guys saw, when I came up, I take a right-hand turn, right? So, when you're speaking of direction of travel and who has the right-of-way, I technically have the right-of-way. Now, mind you, the road out there is shit. It's a bad road. It sucks, right? So he was coming towards me. He turned left and just went right in front of me in the driveway. And this was back when we were getting stuck up here for like 6 hours at a crack. And I wasn't getting home to see my kid very much, and I was really getting pissed off. So he decided to pull that on me. And yeah, I didn't have very kind words that day. It takes a lot to get me to that point because I don't like being that guy. But yeah, I definitely let loose about that. That's in the trucking industry. That's called gouging. And back in the day, back in the day, if you gouged another driver, you were pretty much bound for a fist fight by that point. I mean, that's just literally what it was. Hi, Mom. Welcome in. So, yeah, every time I'm in here and this driver's in here, he tries to like give me a look. So I was standing out there as I was going to get my things hooked up, and he's like staring over at me, and I just put my hands up like, what are you fucking staring at, guy? It's like, I don't know. It's overrated. There's not much of a point to be pissed about it anymore, but yeah, I still just... It's like the guy went out and cut one of my trees down, you know? And the Lorax doesn't take kindly to that. Just doesn't. But yep, now we sit here and unload. And then once I'm done here, I scale out, get back on the freeway, and we'll see what time it is when I get back. I might come back up here with another load. The problem is when I get back up here, I already know traffic's gonna be horrible and probably not a good time. And I'll only be about 72, I'll probably be 72,000 pounds with the next load. But yeah, I don't know if I really want to come back up here tonight. I might save it for tomorrow and just push 2 loads tomorrow and call it good. That'd be fun. Either way. The cities has been nuts lately for traffic. I don't know if there's something in the water up here lately, but it's been pretty, yeah. So I am paid by the hour, thank God. It works out pretty well. This facility in particular runs, you can unload up until 10 p.m. So it's... Okay, so it's 10:30. So I think, yeah, the facility unloads 10 p.m. And they reopen at 5 a.m. I'm generally up here at 3:30 in the morning. Sucks, but that's just so I can get my day done with. No, I understand. Yeah, I get that, man. I just... It's hard. It's hard. I come from a different background with that. Like, when he stares me down, it's like, dude, don't even start. I'm pushing, maybe 7 hours of sleep in the past 48, and every ounce of, holding things back is strictly for driving. So when it comes to drivers and the recycling haulers, I have a pretty zero tolerance for when they're, doing stupid crap. Obviously, it's not my place to, like, be the person that corrects them or anything like that. It just, I think everybody has their limitations some days. And little things like that are just, they get to me. It gets to me some days. Something I gotta keep working on, keep bringing it back. This week's been rough. It's been a little out of whack. I'll get there. I'm staying in my truck. I'm not going anywhere near. I gotta keep reminding myself who I'm going home for, The drive from my facility and back. So, from my house to here is about an hour and a half, and then it depends on where I'm going. If I'm going to Albert Lee, it's about an hour and a half. If I am going to Iowa, Mason City, Iowa, it's about 2 hours roughly. So it depends. Both my buildings right now are backed up. So that's where I'm running into my problems, because My trailers are getting packed pretty good, and I'm kind of running out of like time to get these things unloaded, and I can't move I can move 72 miles an hour. That's it. I can't haul balls down the interstate, which is probably a good thing. Yeah, the lack of sleep, that's because I have an abusive little toddler. Actually, I can show you. So that's my little girl, and I hang that there specifically for that reason of, don't let it get to you. I always come up with something, when people are out here cutting me off, I'm like, they probably have to poop. It is what it is. But yeah, the sleep, I'll catch that up on the weekend. During the week, it's hit or miss. But let's see here. It only takes me about 20 minutes to unload. Doesn't actually take all that long for me to unload, which is nice, because then I can usually get in and out of here. It's more or less than I got to get back to driving. Today I'm going to be going back down, I think, to Mason City. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's crazy how time flies, isn't it? Like, I'm remembering bringing her home and sitting in the chair with her, and now all of a sudden she's got energy and figuring out how to use a potty, and it's just like, it's wild. It's absolutely wild how quick they grow. I've got another one on the way too, so I'm sure that's been adding quite a bit, because there's just so much crap I got to try and get done. And yeah, it's not easy when I'm pushing these hours where I'm out, when I'm out like this. Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying it while she's still a kid. It's something else to have a little human that just has unconditional love like that. You come in the house and you just hear the little footsteps coming across the kitchen. You're like, oh God, where is she? Then all of a sudden she's wrapped around my leg, and it's just like, oh, so much fun. Nope, I can't say I've driven a truck with a studio sleeper, a big sleeper like that. I've driven bigger trucks, but that's about, I would say that's about, so I think the biggest truck I've driven is a 300-inch wheelbase, Peterbilt 379. That's probably the longest truck I've driven. I think, it was about 300-inch wheelbase. That was a good truck. I actually like that truck. Had a Caterpillar Acer in it, straight 8-inch stacks, absolutely beautiful. Looks like we got a boomer to join in. Oh my God, tattoos. Scary. He's a bad person. Yeah, dude, I was a fucking EMT for a year. Eat my ass. You whiny little cunt. Oh, for whatever reason, man, your message got hidden. Hold on here. I bought my little girl a house when she turned 35. There's a goal for you. Yeah, that would be really nice to do. If I could do that, I'd be more than happy to. I mean, don't get me wrong, with the way the economy is right now, it's going to be hard to say what the housing market will look like at that time. I'm sure it's going to, fluctuate like it has over history. It's going to bounce around a lot, but yeah, that would be nice to do, or leave her a house if I could. That would be better. definitely have challenges. So things you have to consider with the really long wheelbase, like when you see a truck come by and they've got their frame stretched out, the biggest problem about the frames being stretched out like that is your turning radius essentially is gone, right? Sorry, I just had an operator wave at me. So your turning radius is pretty much gone. You're basically driving a school bus with a trailer attached to it. So like getting in and out, of parking lots is tricky. Like when I drove the longer wheelbase truck, the biggest problems that I faced was like, all right, what truck stop am I going to park at tonight? Is there going to be room for me to park there tonight? And you know, when you're trying to back, with having the bigger pipes on the side of your truck, you can't see around them with your mirrors very well. So when I would back, I would have to open my door and put a foot out and actually look to where I was backing. And that was a bit of a challenge. But once you get used to it, they're not bad. It's when you jump back and forth between a shorter wheelbase truck to a longer wheelbase truck, that's where you kind of have your challenges. Or, you know, when you switch up trailers a lot. So say you go from pulling a dry box trailer to all of a sudden next week you're gonna pull this step deck that's got a spread axle. Your pivoting points are going to change severely as you try to figure out how to back. That's the biggest problem you are going to face, is when your pivoting points change from what you're used to backing, all of a sudden it's like you're driving a whole new truck, and it'll throw you off a lot. What the hell do you got going? Oh, they got a service truck in here. That would explain why there's a lot of crap moving around. But outside of that, all right, looks like we're done. Sweet. So all I got to do from here is pop the lines off, shut the trailer up, we'll hit the scale, and then we're back to rolling south. That'll be nice. And we're gonna take care of that real quick. Yeah, I can't. Oh, he's not honking at me. Alright. Sorry, operator's trying to get a hold of the recycling truck guy, and I don't think he's paying attention back there. And you know, I'm all for people having opinions and whatnot, and you know, I don't necessarily care for that, but like if you want to jump in here and try and just be a dick, yeah, that doesn't really work on me. that doesn't do much for me. But give me a hot second. I got to get everything shut up, and then we're getting out of here. You know, honestly, I have wanted to own my own truck for a very long time, but now that I kind of have everything going the way it's going with a family, yeah, that's out of the question. Oh, Jesus, criminy. Sorry, this lot is not very good. Alright. Bear with me 1 second. I gotta back out of here. I don't have enough room to turn around in here today. We are going to be home free. Yeah, when I was over the road for 2 years, it got really challenging. You know, it basically came down to either being over the road or marriage. And well, I didn't want to be married to my semi because my semi doesn't care about me, right? I mean, I like having a nice truck. I like my truck being decent and whatnot, but at the end of the day, my truck doesn't have feelings for me. And that's, you know, where it's like, well, obviously I'm going to choose marriage. And, yeah, being over the road can definitely have its challenges like that. It would be really nice to own my own truck. I've thought about it for a very long time, but it's just kind of out of the question. And I mean, in reality, I'm okay with that, you know. I like what I do now. I do get home, even though I'm actually in my truck more than I'm home. But it's a good living, and I do enjoy it. Oh, what in God's green earth is going back here? I'm gonna flip you guys around. You can see the catastrophe I'm about to drive into. So this guy's trying to get backed in, which the door he's backing in right now, I have had to back into, and it was probably one of the worst backing situations I have had to do in at least 5 years. It has got to be one of the tightest doors to back into because it's not made for semis, but we've had to do it before. And then up ahead, this is where all the dry boxes get backed in, and these guys are loading the material that I drop off. So inside where that truck is backing into right now is where they have the finished recycling product, essentially. Where are you going, Schneider? What the hell is happening here? Are you... Oh, he's trying to get on the scale. God, I thought he was trying to get into a door or something. There we go. Good Lord. Good Lord. So, I'm not even sure what I was talking about, to be honest with you. Yeah, hard to think today. Hard to think today. So, this is my Monday through Friday. If you... Well, I guess I'm going to let this run through the cities back, because I'm sure we're going to run into a lot of crap on the way back, too. Sorry, I can't say I'm like super interesting or anything. If you're just kind of jumping in, checking it out. So right now we're at our unloading facility here up in the Twin Cities of Minneapolis, Minnesota. We're going to be getting on the scale to check out, and then we're going to be jumping on the interstate and running southbound through the Twin Cities. Probably going to be heavy traffic. The trailer that I'm pulling right now, I am going to be sitting at 44,000. What's my fuel? Give or take 44,320 pounds should be what I'm sitting at with this trailer. If I got my fuel right, but my gauge is a little off. So, we may be heavy, or we may be empty, but we're still packing quite a bit of weight here. So on the way back, kind of the same thing. We'll drive through traffic, check out all the crazies that are running around up here, and I guess enjoy it. Oh, somebody hit the scale recently. Oh, actually, here you go. So, in the back of this guy's trailer, that's some of the recycled material that goes through. So that's actually some of the bulk recycling that comes through. It looks like he's got paper. So once it goes in from my side where I deliver, it goes through a big sorting machine. They sit, pick through it, and it all gets organized and then packed and bundled. And then what these guys do is, you know, they send it out wherever else it's going to be reused at. I definitely like being on the side that I'm on for doing it, unless the sorter inside's frozen. Then it's a nightmare. But that's why I have a fridge. Oh, I was off by 60 pounds. 44,380 is my empty weight. I'll be right back momentarily, and then we're going to get out of here, and we're going to hammer down through the cities. 1 second. Okay. Just checked in with the scale. It is done by a machine. It's called an optical sorter. I don't know the science behind it or how it exactly works, but from the understanding that I have is when the raw material goes in, this sorter will kind of recognize like the different variations in plastic, or it will recognize cardboard, you know, different things like that, and it just kind of sends it to its own conveyor. And then there is, I believe, a line of workers that go through and pick out, you know, things that may have been misplaced. And then it goes through another machine to get bundled with, you know, other raw material of that nature. And then, I mean, there's a whole line of dry box trailers back here. And then there's 4 doors behind me that these guys back into. And yeah. Oh, you saw the fenders when they came off. It's good. They're on there now. They're on there. I had to do a little rework on the brackets that lock them into place, but yeah, they're not going anywhere now. Yeah, they're not going anywhere now. So they're on there. Because, yeah, that sucks. That was a horrible way to start the Monday. Oh, are we good to go here? Just waiting. I'll do my best, man. That's all I can do. Burning a little bit of that midnight oil right now. Just, well, I was. Just gonna keep on running and hopefully get everything done by what I need to get done by Friday. Trailers have been on a very fine line. If you've been in here before, you're probably catching what I'm putting down, but trailers have been running on a real fine line lately. Facilities are back. Both my buildings are backed up right now, and yeah, they're cranking out more loads than I can run. I'm about even with them right now. All right, got the okay to go. Let's get out of here and hit the open road. Probably crack open another energy drink, to be honest with you. Oh no, this is a live stream. Yeah, this is a live stream. I mean, don't get me wrong. I saved the trees at one point in time as the Lorax, but now I drive semi. You know, I wonder if I can still speed shift. I used to be really good at that back in the day. Yeah, let's find out. Honestly, I stretch when I get home. That's usually when I do my stretching, because during the day, there's not a lot of time for moving around. There we go. Yeah, I can still do it. We are in the USA. We are currently in Minneapolis, Minnesota right now. We just got delivered, and now we're going down, and I gotta see what time it is, but I'm probably coming back up here with another load, and good Lord, it's not gonna be a fun time up here that round, because that's when it's going to be really heavy traffic, and it's going to suck. Yeah, I would say stretches. So like when I was over the road, I actually carried exercise equipment with me. And now mind you, don't work out on the pavement in the truck stops. I can't stress that enough. All right, if you're going to work out at a truck stop, figure out a way to do it where you're not on the concrete, because there are nasty truck drivers out there that dump their piss bottles out their windows, and they have zero respect or regard for any other truck drivers or property. So I promise one day you're going to roll into a TA and it's going to smell like piss. I'm going to promise it. It has got to be one of the worst smells I have ever encountered at a truck stop. So, like, I carried dumbbells with me, and I carried a workout mat, and that's how I did it. But I also had a flatbed, so I had the ability to go up on my trailer and work out, stretch, kind of do everything. But when I was over the road, you know, I had a lot more time. Yeah, it does. TA is... Oh, don't get me going on that one. Good Lord. Yeah, workouts, stretches. I mean, yeah, I sit a lot, but being a day cab driver, I do get out of my truck probably a little more frequently. I still average about 500 miles a day, roughly. Sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more, just kind of depends. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of driving. There's a lot of sitting. But usually when I get home, I stretch, or like on the weekends, I'm fairly active. Sometimes, depends on how much sleep I need to try and catch up on. But yes, if you're ever gonna work out at a truck stop or a stretch or something, find a way to stay off the concrete. I can't even stress that enough. Or, you know, get a membership to a gym that's really well known, or, you know, all over the place, because pretty much no matter where you go, then what you do is you just drop your trailer and you take your rig over to the gym. You switch it into personal conveyance if they allow it, and you just go right over to the gym. But I'm gonna flip you guys around so you can enjoy the traffic with me, and let's hammer down. Let's hammer down and get on through it. I am looking forward to getting this day done with and taking a nap. I didn't get to take my nap this morning like I generally do, so just haven't really slept at all since I got rolling here. Well, I mean, obviously I haven't slept since I've been rolling. Fall asleep at the steering wheel in a semi, and I mean, you're gonna scare quite a few people. Dude, come on. Is it your first day driving, my guy? What the hell are you even doing? Good gracious. Yeah, it's hard to say where that's at, to be honest, Shooting Star. It really is. But he was in the middle lane at least, so... Oop. Alright. Well, we got one. I've been on the interstate for, 25 seconds? I've already got cut off? That didn't surprise me. When you're pulling a trailer and you're going through these curves, something to be mindful of as a new driver is, where is my trailer at? There's a lot of dog tracking with trailers, which is essentially how your trailer offsets when you turn. So when I go around a curve, if it's snug or a turn, I gotta think where my trailer is gonna roll through after me, right? Even when you're out in traffic like this, you just gotta be mindful and check your mirrors often. Alright, during your test and stuff, they're gonna be like, yeah, you gotta look at your mirrors every 4 seconds. It's like, well, when am I gonna have time to look at the road? So, just play by the rules, get through your test, and you'll figure out your own system. But you definitely wanna make sure you use your mirrors. Of course, my handle on the back of the door is not on right now. That's alright. Well, everything will hold. Well, that was neat. I don't know if you guys saw that one. Dude, what in the hell are you doing? If you're getting over, get over. Good God. Like, what was even that? Puts his blinker on, goes to merge over, almost hits somebody, turns it off, and then continues to drive on the shoulder. Alright. We're going to be going around that situation there. Looks like a fun time on that side. Traffic is going to be a nightmare over there. still, but it's at least flowing at this point. So now we just gotta be careful. So we're gonna jump into this lane, kind of ride with these other big trucks, and I think we're gonna run ourselves a convoy. In front of me is sitting real close to that other truck. Now, you might think he's tailgating, and honestly, he might be, but really what he's doing is he's making it so cars that want to cut over in front of us don't. Like this. Mind you though, I generally let people over. I shouldn't say always. I generally will let people over if they put their blinker on and I know they're there. I have no problem doing that. I'm not a fast truck, right? I'm not driving a sports car. Like, yeah, I get it. I'm a large vehicle, and generally, I'm in the way. So if somebody wants to get over in front of me, that's fine. It's just, have a little courtesy, use your blinker, and just let me know that you want to do that. Don't make me assume by looking into your vehicle. When I'm looking down and I can see your head turning my direction multiple times while speeding up, I'm not sitting there thinking that you got like a itch you're trying to scratch on your chin. My immediate thought is, yeah, you're probably going to come up and cut me off. This white car is going to merge, but they look like they're giving me room, which is nice. Yep, there it is. So I'm always anticipating that a car somewhere is going to cut me off. But it's how I respond to it that makes or breaks whether it's okay or not. Happy to see that traffic's moving a little bit. I would knock on wood, but there's none in here. So, we're just going to roll with it, see what happens. I don't plan on going any faster than most of the traffic, and kind of is what it is. That's very true. Being empty does make it a little bit easier because I know my stopping power a little bit better. When I'm loaded and the load's shifting, it's a lot harder to tell if this thing's going to stop when I need it to. But yeah, being light does have its benefits. I do have my pusher axle up when I drive back, so there is that where it's like, I don't quite know if this is, if I had to hit my brakes, it would just be the back two axles instead of that third one with the extra brake set on it, because my pusher axle is a full axle, so I've got brakes and everything on it when it's down. Oh, come on over. Probably gonna have to stop somewhere on the way south. The locking pin on my door is open right now, but my safety chains are holding it shut. It must have tightened down harder on me and I didn't know it. apparently my phone needs to cool down. I guess I've been overheating it and not realizing it. So it might be a little loud here for a second. I'm trying to get some air moving through. It's cold enough up here. Still, it's, you know, only in the 20s. But it feels amazing. Let's get out in the hammer lane and hammer down a little bit here. Yep. Oh, I know you do, man. I know. The good news is, this is the worst the traffic gets around here, and it's alright. I'll take this over Texas traffic or Georgia traffic any day. Yes, we are. We are southbound at 35 right now. Going through the cities. Just cruising on up a little bit. Jump out of this hammer lane and then keep on going. I just gotta get that locking pin once we get out of the cities and I can stop. Which honestly, I'm probably gonna stop for lunch because I can eat. Construction up here for, I don't even know how long anymore. Alright. We're going to drop the hammer and we're going to roll out of here. Watch it a little bit. Make sure I maintain the same distance. Well, I guess I can grab the slow lane. Usually I get stuck out here. But traffic's actually pretty light right now, so we're going to be rolling south down to Albert Lee, Minnesota. I've got another loaded trailer sitting there ready and waiting to go. And I've already got 2 loads ready for tomorrow. So yeah, it's going to be a long day. I still have to go down to Mason City, Iowa tonight and swap trailers again. So it's going to be a longer night. Probably won't be able to get started until later tomorrow, but that's all right. I'm just trying to get caught up on recycling. Otherwise, the other place we go is, yeah, Mason City, Iowa. I haul the recycling for both places, and as far as I know, I'm the only one that hauls the recycling for them, and my other driver, Albert Lee, is the only one that hauls for the dump, the landfill, on the garbage side. Well, that's nice. I'm happy it's sunny up here, but it sure ain't anywhere near 57. Yeah, that's really nice. I was expecting snow today, so that's why I got going really early, thinking that's what I was going to run into, but nope. Sorry about that. Had to get over to let a car on. So this is where we might run into a bit of traffic up here. This usually clogs up. This is called the valley, or at least that's what I call it. It's a downhill, uphill with a bridge in between. And essentially they're taking 4 lanes up here and they're merging them down, they're bottlenecking them down into a 2-lane operation for the construction. And people tend to panic a little bit when they get to that point. Looks like we're actually flowing through it today, so that's really nice. All right. We can actually hammer down a little bit through here. It's nice. Once we get the construction, though, we'll have to slow down a little bit. But once we get out of here, I'm going to stop off at a truck stop in Lakeville, and that's probably where I'll end my stream for today. If I come back up to the cities today, I'll do another stream. Oh, we got to see. Oh, that's nice. And that's why checking your mirrors is really important. You never know when somebody's going to come crawling up like that in the merge lane. It's nice and sunny here today. Nice and sunny. This construction zone's a little tight. I am maybe, 8 inches to a foot from the wall next to me, and probably about the same on the other side to the vehicles next to me. So this area gets a little snug up here. But you go through it enough, you kind of know where things are. All right, put this back. It's another day, that's for sure. It's another day up here. Not too bad. We've almost gotten into a few wrecks. That's pretty good, It's pretty good. My truck's not pushing a whole lot of power. 72, now's your chance to get around me. It's about as fast as I can go. I'm gonna guess he doesn't even have ears on back there. Until we get up to the truck stop and kind of go from there. Right now we're just grabbing the hammer lane. All these cars to my right are going to be merging on coming up. So I generally stay in this lane up until we get past this first point. That way I'm not in the way for people trying to get on here. The right two lanes turn into an exit only shortly. Alright, we're good. I can get out of that lane and let people get on by. Even though I'm not going very slow, I still get people that want to tailgate and go flying past me, which that's what makes them happy, by all means. Truck stop. Shooting star out. You almost got hit by a mailbox? What? That thing on wheels? Or are you talking like a mail truck? That I can believe. Interesting, so to speak. I mean, every now and then, you know, there's wrecks, there's things happening on the road, but it generally calms down once you're out of the cities. When I go back up to the cities today, during rush hour traffic, which I'm probably going to wind up going up to deliver this load tonight, then it's going to be an absolute mess. Yeah, that's not good. Shooting star, don't get hit by cars. That stuff looks painful when you get hit by cars. Just gonna throw that out there. But yeah, once I'm back up in the cities and we're rolling again, it's gonna be interesting. I should be coming back up during probably the afternoon rush hour, which the afternoon rush hour is it's a mess. So if you enjoy checking out these live streams and kind of checking out what it looks like to go through heavy traffic in a semi, by all means jump in, check it out. I try to narrate a little bit about what I'm doing or why I'm doing it, just to give a perspective from my point of view. And if you've never been in a semi, it's totally okay to kind of look at it and be like, what the hell is he doing? I get that. And I wouldn't expect on cruising. My exit's coming up for the truck stop. I'm gonna stop off and finally have some lunch. I've been rolling since about 2:30 in the morning, and I literally haven't stopped yet. So I'm kind of looking forward to stopping and eating something, because I know I definitely need it. After that, we'll keep rolling, and I will put up a post when I'm about probably a half hour out of the cities and start the stream there, so we can kind of enter the cities together and see what it turns into. But it's gonna be a mess. Outside of that, I hope everyone has a great day. I hope you guys drive safe, and above all, I hope you all get home to your family safe. You have a wonderful day, everyone, and I look forward to seeing you guys again soon. If you're curious about what I do, what I haul, I've got quite a few different videos up on my shorts, and I do also have like 2 or 3 actual videos of full unloading and going in the landfill. Still working at getting some more videos up. I have not had any time to do any editing. It's been kind of non-stop. I do have my GoPro with today, so I do plan on getting some more footage. And outside of that, I look forward to seeing you all soon. Have a wonderful day.